Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Art and Outdoor Life here with John. I hope that you're having a good day, a good evening, and a good morning, no matter where you're at. So today, I'm gonna paint very loose scene, a very simple scene. It's gonna be a house right off of right next to a stream, and so here I am. I just sprayed the paper with a spray bottle. I didn't drench the paper. And I just put in some light, different kinds of blue very lightly on the paper. Because I'm not really worried about clouds here. And yeah, we're getting ready to go into winter here. Well, we're in fall now, right? But we're getting ready to go into winter. And winter, if you're new at painting, or if you know somebody that might be interested, winter is the perfect time to have fun painting because of the short days and it gets colder and such. So, anyways, and I won't be using no hair blower in this video. So here I am. I'm just outlining the building here, the house, with a flat brush. Now, I'm not worried about detail at all here, or even the color, because it's all going to fade. I'm just outlining it, okay? And with these flat brushes here, the cool thing about them is if, you hear it all the time, people say I can't paint a straight line. Well, with the flat brush, because it does have a flat edge on it, and they're very reliable. If you just go sideways with it like that, it's flat as it is, and we're not looking at nothing perfect here, right? Okay, so that's pretty much the outline, and with some burnt sienna, I'm coming in and I'm gonna just go down, and I'm making my chimney here. And have you ever thought, if you're a painter yourself, or even if you're not, but sometimes when you're painting, or if you're looking at paintings and stuff, you think, man, I wish I could live in that house. But that's kind of how I was feeling here. This is from imagination. If I ever do any paintings with reference photos, I will show the reference photo before in the video, so that you will know what I'm trying to paint. Okay. So I'm basically just creating a horizon line and a rough draft of this creek or stream. And I wanted this building to be right on the edge, but not on, like, literally on the edge, but right next to it. So I'm just kind of, in the dirty water there, I'm just kind of putting in where I want my windows. This is very loose, obviously. The only thing difficult about this painting in reality is creating the building, and I'm sure anybody can do it pretty much if you use a flat brush. And like I said, it don't have to be perfect or nothing like that. Just the idea. It's all about the idea. And for me, painting is about enjoyment, and it's personal time. It's my personal time. It's time to get my thoughts off of everything, and it's time to relax, and and just be creative. So with some light green, I'm putting in the background. Now, as far as the trees go and the bushes, and other shrubbery, you don't have to define nothing. Let the bristles do it for you. You just, wherever you want a bush or a tree, put a little bit of paint on and just put it right where you want it. So I'm mixing it up with green and ultramarine blue here. I'm using a hake brush, a Ron Ranson hake brush. You could buy them online. They're like $10 the last time I checked. I'm using a medium hake. I would suggest, if you are going to buy one, buy the medium, and you can also buy the small one. I do have a large one, but I don't use it very often because, my papers aren't very big. This is a 9 by 12 paper, 9 inches by 12 inches, and for $10 you could buy 30 sheets. They come in 30 sheets, and you could buy them at Walmart. And you can use both sides of the paper too. And so if you paint every day, $10 will do the job for a whole month. You can get even 2 paintings out of it. Okay, so now to scrape trees, you can use the edge of a credit card, an old credit card, or in this case, I'm using a fingernail filer, cheap one, and I'm just pushing up against the paint because the paint's still wet. I can do that. And just kind of giving it like putting in the trunk of the tree, the bark, instead of painting it on there, doing it this way. Okay. So, I'm looking at this and I like the sky, and I didn't do anything with the sky. All I did was just put a little bit of blue back and forth. I didn't cover all of it with blue. Left the white on the paper, and it looks very nice. So here I was just putting in some of the dirty water I had from my paint. And, you're going to like this. I think you're going to like this. Okay, so here I put in some very dark colors in the back of this creek, of this stream, right? Now, as I was painting this, I was thinking, okay, that's just way too dark for this scene, because dark, it does get darker the further you look, and if it's got a lot of brush over it, a lot of trees hanging over it. But in this case, the creek looks like it's going straight down vertically, right? So I'm not worried about it right now, okay? I mean, that's the whole idea about being, painting and being spontaneous. There I'm putting in some yellow ochre just to put a little different colors in there. And, the creek caught my eye, but I wasn't worried about it. I was like, I'll fix this later, okay? And so if you look at the house, the windows have faded and the door has faded. And I'm just, with a little bit of ultramarine blue and some dark green, I'm just kind of going back and forth with this fan brush. Fan brushes are amazing no matter what you're painting with. If you're doing oils, acrylics, in this case watercolors, fan brushes do amazing work. Like this little tree I'm putting up here, okay? This is ultramarine blue I'm using. You can use a dark blue, you can use a green, you can use orange, or whatever you want to use. So just very gently tapping along the side. And going here and there along the building there, and then I was like putting some in the yard. And as I was looking at this house, I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be a very nice house. I want it to be like a rock house, made of rocks or bricks or whatever. And I was thinking about this house, and I was like, I thought about the house, but I did not think about a sidewalk or a driveway. And I'm just lightening up and darkening up the bushes in front of the house there. Just kind of messing around here. You know, like I'm lightening up colors and I'm darkening other colors. So I have to make this creek look more realistic because it looks like a nightmare. And, we're not going to be walking up to this house. So with some raw umber, I just started at the right by where the door would be. And I don't know, you can call it a path or, a sidewalk. You can use whatever color you want. Yeah. But for me, I'm just having fun here. And I'm just kind of trying to create a little pathway to the house. And then while I was using the raw umber, I was like, well, my windows are gone now, so let's just put in some window shapes and, you know, basically everything's a square here. Squares. There's our door, right? And then we're going to make one long window, like a picture window. I was like, I would love to live in this place, right on the creek, right on the river or stream, whatever. And as I'm looking at this, there's always a part of a painting I do that I do get frustrated with. But what makes up for it is when I'm finished, I always have that feeling of fulfillment. I always have that when I'm finished because it's fun to do this, but it's also, when you're done, you feel kind of accomplished, because you're not being rushed, you're not being judged. It's personal time, and not every painting is the same. I put a darker red up on there. Maybe maybe someone put a tin roof on there, or maybe it was like a kind of slate roof, or whatever on there. But since the burnt sienna is fading on my chimney, I was like, okay, let's come back and let's darken this up a little bit. Don't you just love houses with fireplaces in them? Especially for the winter time and when it's chilly out, or at nighttime if you just want to watch a movie and just have the fire going. And so, yeah, on the other side, I just thought, okay, well, I got some on my brush, so I'll just create like a little patch of land. Maybe that was like a garden, and the garden is someone already tilled the garden. Now, I wetted my flat brush here just so I can loosen up all this paint because I did not like that. And watch you're going to like this, how I fix my this stream. So I dabbed off most of the paint. Now, how are we going to fix this? I mean, that doesn't look fixable, right? There's always something you can do here. So a lighter blue, I think it's cerulean blue I put in there. And just kind of filling it up. And of course, I bring out a little bit of white, Chinese white. It is watercolor. And otherwise, I wasn't going to use white. But in this case, in order to save that stream, and there's other ways you could do it too. But so I go along the edge here, because the edge of this stream or this creek needs some defining, right? You don't have to use white to define the edges, but sometimes it works. It helps. And we're gonna make it appear so that it ain't going straight up and down. And how you do that is always make it wider at the bottom. Now look at that. Isn't that amazing? What looked like something that was undoable, unfixable, all of a sudden, boom, there's our stream. Okay, so with some ultramarine blue, I'm going back over this tree. I'm not happy with this tree. There's always something I'm not completely happy about, right? But that's okay. That's okay. I mean, I don't get upset about these things. You know, I mean, I enjoy it because, if you get upset over it, then you probably shouldn't be painting, because, every painting is going to be different and it's going to come out different. So what you can do is you could put yellow on those trees and lighten them up and change them to green. You could do different things. You don't even have to put a tree there. You could just do what you want to do with it. So in the back of the creek or the front, however you want to see it, I'm putting some more darker greens in the back. All of a sudden, the creek is going into the woods, into the forest. You see that? I really appreciate you guys viewing. And if you enjoy my videos, please subscribe. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. And hit like and share if you like them. I hope you enjoy watching me paint as much as I enjoy painting for you. And I paint for myself. I just record. I just hit record and I paint. I want to wish you a good day, a good evening, and a good afternoon, no matter where you're at and what time you're watching this. And thank you so much. So we'll put some yellow ochre in here, just like that, to add a little bit color and to get some weeds and some dry grass in there and give it some more color. A very simple painting, And if you're painting along, just use your own imagination or paint whatever I'm painting. I don't care. I just hope you get a really good enjoyment out of watching these. Thank you so much. Sincerely yours, John.